Tanya and Troll, that probably happened within the past 15 minutes or so. These demonstrators who are and were lining this driveway into the parking lot here at the Broadview ice processing facility. There was a van trying to exit the parking lot. The demonstrators who were on federal property wouldn't move, so we saw a number of federal ICE agents come out in their tactical equipment, try to get the demonstrators to move. That didn't happen, so what we saw was at least one demonstrator being taken away. You can see video right here that we captured on our cell phones being taken away into the ice processing facility right here behind us. Obviously that upset a number of the demonstrators out here. We heard one person scream after it happened. And now this has sort of become the contentious, really, moment of the morning, I would say. You have a lot of demonstrators now yelling at these ICE agents that they're going to have 10,000 more people out here now because this demonstrator was taken into custody. Now, these demonstrators say they're going to be out here every week as Operation Midway Blitz continues. The latest ICE arrest that we are aware of happened at Elgin Community College. The school says federal agents took a student into custody in a parking lot outside a building on the main campus. The Trump administration has said it's going after undocumented people with criminal histories, but the circumstances around this arrest are still unclear. Elgin Community College students we spoke with say they are shaken by what happened, some just too nervous to show their faces on camera.
I feel like we're living in a dystopian nightmare.
Now, Elgin Community College releasing a statement on the incident, writing, quote, ECC does not engage in immigration enforcement and does not voluntarily share information about students' immigration status. Our focus remains on supporting our students and maintaining a safe, welcoming learning environment. Back here live in Broadview, guys, if you can come back to us right now, I'm gonna get out of the way. You can see a number of this SUV pulling out of the driveway right here out to the Broadview facility. Heavily armed ICE agents standing by. It looks like some of them are armed with what looks like paintball guns, I guess you could say. Those are those devices that are being used to fire those pepper balls. It looks like, okay, so no one's being detained right now. They're trying, it looks like, to get back into the federal facility right there. They're trying to essentially get that SUV out of the parking lot. Just a really, really intense situation out here right now. You have a lot of them chanting, getting right up in the faces of a lot of these federal agents, holding up signs. The federal agents really aren't responding. They're just sort of standing there. But I think it is important to point out, Tanya and Trell, that these demonstrators largely have been on federal property all morning. These federal agents have been asking the demonstrators to move. We did see earlier this morning that pepper balls were used. They were shot at the ground to try and disperse the crowd. You can see some of them are wearing those N95 masks. Some are wearing gas masks as well, just to be safe. But it's just such a hot and intense moment right now, and I think this just highlights the environment here in Chicago, but just across the country with how people are responding to the incident here, nationally about what's going on with immigration. Back to you.
Christian, what's striking me right now is, as you talk over what's happening behind you, and then the video that we saw from earlier, is how kind of hot and cold it is, how at one point it can get very tense, and it actually looks like physically aggressive. How would you describe some of the more intense confrontations that you've seen between demonstrators and federal agents?
Well, it's super intense because you have some of these federal agents walking from a nearby parking lot. They are walking into the Broadview ice processing facility behind me. They aren't saying anything, but I kid you not, Tanya and Terrell, these demonstrators are getting this close to these federal agents, yelling some really, really intense, you could say, hateful things, as well as they're walking into this facility. The agents aren't saying anything, and then you're also seeing the demonstrators, like I mentioned, they're on federal property right now. So, in a split second, it gets so intense. It's whenever you see an ICE agent appear, come out of the building, come out of a nearby parking lot, that's when this group of demonstrators really moves together and activates, if you will.
Have any of those confrontations become physical?
Yes, we did see one federal agent actually it was during our 5 o'clock live shot this morning. We saw one federal agent shove one of the demonstrators. Again, the federal agent didn't say anything, shoved the demonstrator. The demonstrator didn't respond, but obviously that was another intense moment where you saw lots of yelling after that. So that's what we've seen so far. We do keep hearing the federal agents say, "Don't touch me, don't touch me. So there are, it seems like, some warnings being given out. However, during the 5 o'clock incident, when we saw the federal agent shoving that one demonstrator, to be honest with you, I couldn't hear if anything was if there was any sort of exchange between that agent and the demonstrator, just because of all the shouting that was going on.